and Israelite foreigners scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America, Babylon the Great, which is the main place for our captivity, according to biblical prophecy. And we are the Most High Yahweh, chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, in Allah Shran Kodash, being the holy tongue, as in the Paleo Hebrew, being the ancient Hebrew, I'm going to give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch, Warash, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, who is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, I'm utter Mashana, Kabawadim, Lahasaquanium, Shalom, Galawarabaka, meaning double honors to the apostles and elder bishops, great millstone, and Shalom, honors and salutations to Bayashad Awadah, the house of David, meaning referring to the 144,000 elected governing body of the 1/3 elect remnant of the nation of Israel, along with the rest of the 1/3 elect men, women, and children of Israel. All right, and his fellow servant Malak Rayab, back at it again with another lesson through the spirit of prophecy, being a testimony of our Lord and Savior, Hamash Shekah Habashai, who the master of the world ignorantly refers to Jesus Christ. Just a quick Harmon 1 update, or the biblical war, mildly referred to as World War III, further intensifying within this skirmish in the so-called Middle East between Pakistan and India. Okay, as it says here, going into a ceasefire that Pakistan reportedly broke, by a barrage of drone attacks on 25 different targets in India. All right, in which, before I even get into that, I'm just going to go ahead and refer to a quick remark, all right, made by an official, the Pakistan defense minister, warning nuclear war if India responds against Pakistan's attack. Okay, because this conflict between India and Pakistan was all really, it was moderately intensified by way of that attack in Kashmir in India a few weeks ago. Okay, reportedly on behalf of terrorists based out of Pakistan. So India ended up retaliating. And then, and then there was a ceasefire deal that was supposedly agreed to by both India and Pakistan. But now Pakistan has reportedly broke that truce. Okay, as this guy here, the Pakistan's defense minister on the screen said, warned of a nuclear war. If India responded against Pakistan's attack. Okay, and which India did retaliate. Okay, so now being that these two countries are two thermonuclear capable countries, and they're going at it, going back and forth when it's tit for tat, retaliatory war. Okay, there's this tit for tat retaliatory attacks. It further serves as omens, further omen or precursor to this last world's war, because America, Babylon the Great is supporting India, and China is supporting Pakistan, and Bibi, Satan Yahoo of the Israeli government is also supporting India. Okay, so it's not a coincidence, man. Further confirms this India-Pakistan war is being further used as a proxy war, for Esau to further divide and conquer, under the guise of democracy and peace. All right. So I just wanted to go and bring it out real quick. It says Pakistan's defense ministers has warned nuclear war with India could break out at any time as fears of tit for tat bloodshed continue to grow. Pakistan has vowed to strike back against India, warning it reserves the right, whatever else is said there, all right, to defend itself against India. Okay, so let's go back to the initial article on Hindustan Times, when Hindustan was that landmass that has been broken apart, consisting of both India and Pakistan, due to the British Edomites colonizing that area, that land, which is the MO or track record of the self-proclaimed white man, Esau Edom. All right, the man who sent his son to perdition. All right, known to invade lands that doesn't belong to him, including America, Babylon the Great, and usurp them under his authority. All right, so Esau has his handprint, all over this India-Pakistan conflict. Okay, so and that's why Bibi Satan Yahoo of the Israeli government is involved. So I'm gonna get into in a moment, but this is on Hindustan Times, and it's entitled "India-Pakistan News Live: Pak violates ceasefire hours after peace deal announced." And this was reported a little later on earlier today, on May 10th, Saturday, May 10th. It says India-Pakistan ceasefire live updates. While the two countries have come to an understanding to halt all military action on land, air, and sea, however, shelling has continued in border districts. It says India-Pakistan ceasefire live updates. Mere hours after agreeing to a full and immediate ceasefire, Pakistan has violated the peace deal with shellings and air raids in several border districts, including Barmer and Rajasthan and Baramulla and Jammu and Kashmir. U.S. President DJT on Saturday had announced a ceasefire between the countries and stated that the talks between the countries have been mediated by America, because that's part of Esau's tactic to further, to proclaim and present himself as a global humanitarian peacemaker. Okay, which is, which further exposing his hypocrisy, because, those efforts are not being reciprocated over there, and within the Gaza Strip. Okay, being that the Israeli Mossad, through the IDF, has eliminated 23 more people. Okay, in which that war, okay, going on over there within the Holy Land between the Israeli government and them Ishmaelites over there is further funded by way of our U.S. taxpaying dollars. So that's further hypocrisy on DJT's part. Okay, further fulfilling Psalm 55 and 21, which says, how he was to speak, his words would be smoother than butter, but war would be in his heart, as in his mind. Meaning what? Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, has an ulterior motive. Okay, especially within this whole global humanitarian peacemaking approach, as a smokescreen to lower the guards of people, so he can conspire behind closed doors to come in and strike. Okay, and ultimately seize the world's natural resources. Okay, and infiltrate these lands of these particular governments to eventually usurp them under his control. That's the only reason why they're advocating support for India, because they don't give a shit about India, man. Those Elamites in India, they just want they want to, they're using that India-Pakistan proxy war as a further part of gaining control. All right, and increasing, their global leverage. So this is going to get this article on the U.S. Sun. It says Pakistan announces military operation against India and launches missile strikes on 25 targets after week of tensions. Pakistan says it has launched a military operation against India with missile and drone strikes on 25 targets. It is the latest escalation in tensions between the two nuclear armed rivals after a week of clashes on the border and in Kashmir. It says Pakistan's military said it used medium-range Fatah missiles to strike more than 25 military strikes. All right, it says they claimed to have attacked air bases and weapons depots in the Indian states of Gujarat, Punjab, and Rajasthan, as well as locations in India-administered Kashmir. All right, Pakistan dubbed the attack Operation Buham ul Marsus. named after a verse from the holy book of Islam, the Quran. There's nothing holy about the Quran. The Quran is a carbon copy of the scriptures, the Holy Bible. Okay, and it's further associated with Semiramis, Queen of Heaven worship. Okay, aka Moon Goddess worship. Hence, the symbol, of the moon crescent, that moon crescent symbol of associated with Islam. Okay, so this is why the Lord is not dealing with these heathen nations, including the descendants of the Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, including the inhabitants of India and Pakistan, because that is the same empire that enslaved Yasharallah. Okay, this enslaved the true Israelites. So this is Isaiah chapter 48 and verse 42. And it reads, "There is no peace, said the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, into the wicked." Okay, so despite the little, the ceasefire, peace deal, supposedly agreed to by both India and Pakistan, it's not up to them, okay, to carry out peace. Okay, as it says here, Proverbs 21 and 1. It says, the king's heart. Give me 1 second. I'm in transit right now, driving. All right, there's Proverbs 21 and 1. And it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Okay? So the king's, the king's heart as in mind is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, including, the kings of the heathen, these proud princes, spoken about in Sirach 10 and 14 and Psalm 76 and 12. So with that, I'm going to get Psalm 28 and 3. It says, "Draw me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts." All right, so these heathen nations have been drawn away with the workers of iniquity, the workers and insurrectors of iniquity, rather, being the Edomites, those who are known to advocate peace, okay, but with ulterior motives, due to a conspiring war against those that speak peace for. Okay. Case in point, for example, Esau, fresh out of chattel slavery, Esau promised the southern kingdom of Israel, so-called Negroes, 40 acres and a meal. What happened to that shit? Okay. What happened to the peace deal between the Israeli government and H to the, fuck it, I just go ahead and say it. What happened to the peace deal between the Israelis and Gaza? Hamas, based out of Gaza. Okay, that the Israeli government broke. You see that? These are the same people that are advocating support for India, because they have no intentions of peace for India. Okay, and this is why on this article here on economictimes.com, it says the Israeli stands with India in his fight against terrorism. Satan Yahoo after terror attacks on Pahalgam. Now, that's interesting that he's advocating support against terrorism, right? Referencing that other rumor war that I had spoke about. All right, I'm going to yeah, but there was a report that I actually recently come across where Amalek had attacked. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and find it real quick. How Amalek had recently, yep, here it is. It's on CNN. Says the Israelis launched deadly strikes on Gaza amid a humanitarian blockade. You see that? So where's the peace over there? Further confirming that despite that peace, that ceasefire deal of supposed peace between the Israeli government and them Ishmaelites over there in Gaza, them Amalekites over there, them Israelis are still attacking them Ishmaelites over there, man. Okay, amid a humanitarian blockade, which is of, you see that, of a humanitarian blockade of food, water, medical supplies, and so forth from them Ishmaelites over there in Gaza. So meaning what? Them Israelis, the Amalekites, are literally starving out them Ishmaelites over there in Gaza. But yet, these are the same devils that are advocating support against terrorism on behalf of Pakistan in support of India. So this is the hypocrisy of these devils that is further exposing their true nature as a devil. You know, a forked-tongued, disingenuous, deceitful demon. Oh, this is on economictimes.com. It says the Israeli stands with India in his fight against terrorism. Satan Yahoo after terror attack on Paul Halgam. Slovakia. Got to my destination. Let me go ahead and find a parking spot real quick. All right, Slovakia. All right, so this is so it says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu mourned after the terrorist attack that took place in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam on Tuesday. All right, and this is an article that came out on April 23rd. It says he extended the Israeli support for India in its fight against terrorism. It says, my dear friend at Nadeem Ramodi, I am deeply saddened by the barbaric terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir that eliminated and injured dozens of innocents. And what about those innocents that you devils, you Israeli devils, you Amalekites, have taken within the men, women, and children of them Ishmaelites over there in Gaza? Okay, and various other areas, linked with these Iranian proxy militants. So this is, like it says in Joel the 15th chapter, man. All right, it speaks about the house of hypocrites. All right, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Joel 15 and 34. All right, Salaki. Yep. It says, for the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. And that's these devils, man. Okay, mainly these Amalekites, the chief family of the Edomite, the family of Edom. Okay, so this is he said he went on to say, our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. The Israeli stands with India in his fight against terrorism. The Israeli's Prime Minister office posted on X. Okay, so this is go back to that. This is Psalm 49 and 5. It says, Psalm 59 and 5. It says, thou therefore, O Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem and Shai, power of hosts, the power of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Salah. Okay, this is why you Elamites over there within Pakistan and India, once known as Hindustan, okay, infiltrated by British colonialism, okay, at war, because Esau is there. Okay. All right. So this is why back in Psalm 28 and 3, I'm going to read that again. It says, draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Okay. So that's why you Elamites over there within India and Pakistan have been drawn away with the workers of iniquity, because you do not have the holy hedge protection of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem over you. Okay. Because you are of the heathen. You are of the 17 natural Gentiles, specifically of the nation of Elam. Okay, the descendants of the Medo-Persian Empire who enslaved our people, the Israelites. So this is part of your recompense. You being infiltrated and picked apart okay, over there and, within India and Pakistan, influenced by the devil, Esau, Edom, the workers of iniquity. So this is Sirach 12. I'm going to start at verse 16. All right, and it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood, because there's not an immense amount of bloodshed that this self-proclaimed white man, Esau, Edom, okay, can shed that will satisfy him. As it says in Psalm 55:23, bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days. They have an insatiable appetite to shed blood, man. Okay, not just human beings, but of animals. And then that goes into Esau's nature as a cunning hunter. Okay, spoken about in the book of Genesis. So this is Sirach 12:17. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So Bibi, on behalf of the Israeli government, is pretending to help you Edomites over there in India, as in Trump, as is Trump. Okay, because they have ulterior motives with their public support of supposedly helping you. Okay, and which entails what is going to get it. Proverbs 16:9, and it says, so that's not it. Proverbs 16:19 says, better is it to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. You see that? So, the same reason why, Satan Yahoo, on behalf of the Israeli government, was involved in the downfall of the previous Syrian regime of Bashar al-Assad, okay, setting up that puppet leadership, okay, under Al-Qaeda, okay, known as a terrorist group, by the way, despite the fact that Bibi Netanyahu is the same devil that spoke against terrorism, okay, on behalf of Pakistan against India, but he has been further revealed to support it in terms of that current regime that's ruling in Syria, by way of his support and the support of the U.S. That's why Hillary Clinton said some years ago that admitting that the U.S. government, all right, through the CIA, has funded these very terrorist groups, such as one that I mentioned, which she mentioned. You see that? So that lines up with Sirach 12:17, further describing the true nature of the self-proclaimed white man, the devil, the Bible speaks of. Okay, this is Proverbs 16:19 again. It says, better is it to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. So this is why these devils are supporting India, because they have an ulterior motive to ultimately seize control of India. Okay, and they'll most likely not be successful with that. Time will tell with that. But nonetheless, those are the intentions of the devil. Ill intentions. Okay. So this is Habakkuk chapter 2, starting in verse 4, and it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Okay, so there's nothing upright about the self-proclaimed white man. Okay. It says in Sirach 14:5 how he doesn't even love his own people. All right, this is Habakkuk 2:5. Here's a point. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, is in his wine of fornication, his Western philosophy, all right, including democracy, okay, the global humanitarian approach of advocating peace, okay, bureaucracy, diplomacy, all right, his military industrial complex, his geopolitics, his religion. So it says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered into him all nations, and heapeth into him all people. So this is a further biblical description of the self-proclaimed white man. Hence why, his public support for India is a further fulfillment of this prophecy. Okay, him looking to increase his global authority over the entire earth, as it says in Revelation 17:1. Okay, going to, further revealing who the whore sitting upon many waters is, America. Babylon the Great through that very wine. Okay, so who's over America? Who does America answer to? Okay, Amalek. All right, the same ones who have been publicly supporting or advocating support for India. Okay, so this is Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20, and it says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai, that he had taken against Edom, and his purposes that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman." Okay, the modern day Germans. It says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, and least of the flock of the nation of Edom are these Amalekites, these small hats." All right, claiming to be the chosen of the Lord, perpetuating war and mayhem in earth. All right, as it says here, Psalm 58 and 1. It says, point is verse 2. It says in verse 1, Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Here's the point of verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. And the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. All right, pursuing Job 9 and 24. And this is how we're further able to identify who the devil the Bible speaks of. Esau, Edom. Okay, he who's given the blessing of the fatness of the earth, the sword, by forefather Isaac, another pre-incarnation of Yahweh Shai. Okay, in Genesis the 27th chapter. Hence how in that same chapter he was prophesied to obtain the fatness of the land, as in of the earth, which was the self-proclaimed white man, Esau, Edom. All right. So this is back in Jeremiah 49 and continuing in verse 21. And it says, "The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea." All right, around the so-called Middle East, around the Persian Gulf, where a lot, these Elamites are, and in India, Pakistan, Iran, okay, and so forth. Okay, this which is the same area where this last world's war is prophesied to take place. This is Jeremiah 49 and 22. "Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra." Okay, the capital of the Edomites. All right, and the eagle represents, in which further reveals, further identifies Basra as Edom, the self-proclaimed Edom, the white or self-proclaimed Caucasians or white people. Okay, whose bloodline derives back to the Edomites. Okay, whoever's bloodline derives back to the Edomites. Okay, are the same ones who proclaim themselves to be white. All right, during the late 17th century, around 1681, creating that social construct of white and black, in which white is a synonym, symbolic of purity, holiness. Hence why, Isaiah 47, the prophecy in Isaiah 47, where it speaks about how, it speaks about, the virgin daughter of Babylon, okay, being touched by having her skirt lifted up and exposing her wickedness. Because America, Babylon the Great has always been known to be a formidable military. Hence why that, the Marines there's a famous, there was a Marines commercial in the 90s or somewhere in the early 2000s. Okay, that was, that I remember, saying the good, the few, the good, the proud, the Marines. Case in point. So through Esau's sword, okay, which his military industrial complex is an extension of, he has further boasted his pride, man. He's further professed and proclaimed and declared his pride to consider America to never be unscathed. He further prophesied in Isaiah 47 chapter, but by way of this war, further prophesied in this chapter, he is going to finally be touched, man, by these other nations, including these dragons of Arabia, including those in Pakistan, the so-called Muslims in Pakistan. This is Jeremiah 49 and 22. "Behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle." All right, the eagle represents the vilest of its kind. All right, symbolic of Esau, Edom. It says, behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. So you devils gonna be reduced to the likes of women. Okay, vulnerable, booty, meaning spoils of war before your enemies. What's the further omen of that? A lot of these Babylonian women in modern day Babylon, America, okay, going viral within these social media compilations and of their complaints on struggling to survive, to buy groceries, to pay their rent and their mortgages. Okay. All right. So that is which is why women, have always been considered the joint heirs of the rulership of these Edomites. Case in point. So the Lord speaks. That's further confirmation. The Lord speaks through signs, man. And you devils are finished, man. Matter of fact, let me get this one. Jeremiah 51:30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken, meaning her lines of defense are broken. That's why the former Edomite general Mark Milley mentioned, a few years ago, that admitting that America's lines of defense to their missile deflect systems cannot possibly defend it defend itself against the hypersonic missiles of China and Russia. So that is the further omens, of you devils, being made vulnerable, reduced to the likes of women in the midst of this war. So I'm going to end it off on a note. I pray this lesson is further edifying, exhorting to elect. All right, give all praise, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Baruch Rash. All right, and once again, double honor to the beloved apostles and elder bishops, Grand Millstone, who teach and rule well, and have been for decades. All right, and Shalom, honor and salutations to Bayashah Wada, the house of David, along with the rest of the 1/3 elect men and women and children of Israel. All right, Shalom, Akiyah, brother GMS Facts Works 144. Abanawi Yahweh by Shema Mashak Abishai, Barakatah. All right, and Dawah for tuning in. Autumn Rathers all this for edifying and exhorting. But I'm going to sign off. I'm on my destination right now. Pray this lesson is for the edifying, exhorting, and a ball, soon and very soon. And shalom to the elect.